All right, what's Bill here? Big day for me. 7 for 8. The Leafs won. And I hit my 3-team parlay. What more could you want? Here's my picks for tomorrow. All right, we're getting to the last day before the Christmas break and the end of round 2. And if you take a look at where my stats are right now, I went 7 for 8 yesterday, which leaves me at 43 for 56 overall. And I hit my 3-team parlay and doubled my money. And I like another 3-team parlay today. So let's get into the picks that I have. Well, before I get into the picks, let's talk about the games. Rutowski Jansen, first game, not much to talk about. Rutowski wins. Cyril Gallus, again, Cyril looked a little sloppy, but again, dynamite on the checkouts, 94, 98, 100, bam, bam. So really good on the takeouts, just the scoring was off for sure. But Cyril beat Adam Gallas, Mike DeDecker, Mensur Suljovic. DeDecker went back. Just remind me next year when I start picking Mike DeDecker. I feel like I do it every year, and I feel like an idiot the minute it happens. It's the only game I got wrong. But again, I do it every year. It's like I forget that Mike DeDecker can't play in the World Championship. He's awful. Please, next year, if I have a video and I pick Mike DeDecker, please someone slap me across the face. To give me a virtual slap. Just don't do it. Mensur Suljovic with the win. And then what a game. Dirk Van Duijvenbode against Carl Sedlacek. This was a big game. Carl Sedlacek was a win would have gave him a card. It also would have made Jeff Smith lose his card. Jeff Smith being a Canadian player, right in the 64th or last position. And there was a match dart. And if you take a look at it, Peter Wright won 19? I think it was 2019 or 2020, but it was the end of the 2019 season. Noel Maladam missed a match start against him. Dirk Van Duijvenbode was hitting 180s for something to do, and he still struggled to get over the line, but in that last set, he was class. And I think Carl Sedlacek just couldn't keep up with him, but what a great game. That was if you take a look at those first 3 games, they were tough to watch. That last game was dynamite, absolute dynamite, and good on both players. But Dirk Van Duijvenbode gets across the line 3-2. And again, the afternoon session was much better, actually. I enjoyed watching the majority of these games. Gary Anderson got the win over Matters Razma. Again, Matters Razma should have took it to 3 sets for sure. But Gary Anderson scrapes over the line 3-1. Jim Williams beat James Wade, just as I predicted. I should have put money on that one because that had really good odds. Again, James Wade, he's a solid player. James Wade's a solid player, but he is not elite in darts. His scoring will never allow him. I know he won the UK Open 2 years ago, but he won it because Luke Humphries beat Michael Van Gerwen in the round before and didn't carry it to the next round. James Wade is consistent. There is no doubt that he is consistent. He's going to be low 90 average, and he's going to hit doubles for fun at the right times. And he showed a little bit of that in this game, but he got outscored. He got outscored by Jim Williams. And just like last year, he had a real easy draw to get to the semifinals. But the minute he faced someone who could score like Michael Smith, he's done. He cannot score with the elite players. It's just a fact. And I'm not a big Wade fan, to be honest with you. So seeing him go certainly didn't hurt my feelings. 3-2, just as I predicted. Luke Humphries struggled with Hempel. Ooh. Again, at the end, sort of like Dirk Van Duijvenbode, he had the class to get through. But unlike Dirk Van Duijvenbode, he showed nothing until that last set, where he went down 2-1, and then he said, game over, I'm going to take it from here. It's very, very concerning. Usually Humphries is dynamite in this tournament, so I didn't expect that. I didn't even think Hempel played that great, to be honest with you. Hempel played fantastic last year when he took out Dimitri Vandenberg. He did not play very well. It was definitely an exciting game to watch, though, but Humphries over the line 3-2. And then Vincent van der Voort took out Cameron Menzies lunch, had him for dinner, took him out to the woodshed, and beat him 3-0. And really, that win, really, unless a miracle happens with, was it Jimi Hendrix, Dave Cameron, and I forget who the other player is, they have to get like a quarterfinal for Jeff Smith to lose his tour card. So basically right there, Jeff Smith kept his tour card with that win. And I hit my 3-team parlay, which is fantastic. Let's get into the games for tomorrow. The last games before the Christmas break, and the last games are round 2. And hopefully if I go 8 for 8 tomorrow, I'll go 51 for 64, which is pretty damn good. I also really like a 3-team parlay here, so let's get into this one. Brandon Dolan, Jimi Hendrix. For me in Canada, for me to get up and watch that first game, I got to be up at 7:30 tomorrow. I got to guess I might sleep in a little bit and just miss this game a smidgen. Brandon Dolan, Jimi Hendrix. This is going to be the... Now, it ain't going to be Jamie Hughes, I don't think, Jimi Hendrix, because Dolan's got some he's a pretty classy player, but it's going to be a tough watch. I'll warn everyone up front. Hendrix is he's not going to hit an 80 average. Dolan hits a 90 average, it's over. And I like Dolan to win this one 3-0. Next game up, Chris Dobie, Martin Clearmacher. It'll be a fast game, good pace. Some high scores and then some low scores. Both of them play the same way. Hit a big score, then hit a low score. And doubles, they both struggle on doubles. Dobie's the better scorer, so I'm going to take Dobie to win this one 3-1. Next game up, I think, is going to be just a trip out to the woodshed for Darius Labanauskas, Ross Smith. The only thing I can see here is Ross Smith's going to play down to Darius Labanauskas, but if Ross Smith he's plowing in 180s for something to do. He had a horrible start to the season, but a really good back end with wins over Van Gerwen, like some big wins. And of course, beating Michael Smith in the European Championship, where Michael Smith played well and Ross Smith took him out. I think Ross Smith wins this one with ease, 3-0. Next game up is going to be a beaut. Rob Cross, Scott Williams. I can't see this not being a good game. Who's going to win? I don't know. Scott Williams averaged 100. Rob Cross, usually in the World Championship, plays well. Their playing partner or practice partners, they get along. That should add a little bit more intrigue to the game, especially if it gets a little bit feisty, which both of them are known to get a little bit feisty up there. I like Rob Cross, though, at the end to show his class. I like this one going to a tiebreaker, and Rob Cross winning 3-2. Then we get into the night session, or the last session before the Christmas break. The first game up, Martin Schindler against Martin Lukeman. Again, I'm not a big Lukeman fan. I think Lukeman started off like great start. The fact that he kept his tour card at the beginning of the year, I was looking at the stats. I'm thinking, Martin Lukeman. Well, there goes your card. I had him in the same category as like Jake Jones and Jack Maine. I didn't think he was going to be anywhere near this card, and he just had a beauty year. And it's very similar to Gilding. I just don't... Martin Schindler... The thing about Martin Schindler that concerns me is, damn, on TV, he stinks. He has given up huge leads while on TV. Lukeman's going to be there. It's not like he's going to disappear on him. He's going to be around him. It's just, how does Schindler deal with it? I think Schindler's the better player. The stats, it's not even close. Schindler's the better player. And the odds, I was really shocked at the odds. I'm getting pretty good odds to take Schindler here, so I'll take him. But I like Martin Schindler to win this one 3-1. Danny Noppert, Dave Cameron. Danny Noppert, pretty class player. Cameron shows he's not out of it until he's out of it. 2 legs down, 2 sets down, comes back. But this ain't Richie Edhouse you're playing. This is, and I'm a Canadian. I want the Canadian to win, but Danny Noppert's just too class. I see this one going 3-1. Johnny Clayton, Danny Von Tripp. Danny Von Tripp took out Steve Beaton. Johnny Clayton's had what you would consider to be an off year. He's not hitting the 140s that he used to hit all the time. Him and Peter Wright used to just beat people with 140s, not 180s, just consistent 140s right down your throat and hit a big score, 1-2-1 score, call it a day. He hasn't been doing that this year, but he's better than Danny Von Tripp. So Johnny Clayton to win this one 3-1. Then the last game up, Joe Cullen against Ricky Evans. This will go fast. It'll be done in a heartbeat. And I think after seeing what Ricky Evans served up with Fallon Sherrick, that ain't good enough to beat Joe Cullen. So Joe Cullen to win this one 3-1. My bets for tomorrow. I got 3-team parlay. I'm taking Brandon Dolan to beat Jimi Hendrix, Ross Smith to beat Darius Labanauskas, and Martin Schindler to beat Martin Lukeman. And with that, I'm getting more than double my odds. Please. There's no way Brandon Dolan loses to Jimi Hendrix. There's no way Ross Smith loses to Darius Labanauskas. I guess there's a chance that Schindler can beat Lukeman, but the odds I'm getting for Schindler is just fantastic. He's the better player, better stats. I like it. I like it a lot, and I'm getting more than double my money for it. Please, I'm in. So hopefully everyone, another big win for me, a 3-team parlay for the Leaf fans. I know you've been going for a video. I will do a video, okay? Now, again, I was talking about everyone about getting behind on Leaf games. I did watch today's game. It was funny. I was watching Leaf game while I was watching the darts, but I really had my eye on the Leaf game, to be honest with you. It's not many times I get to watch the Leafs live lately, so I do have some thoughts on the Leafs, and you'd be surprised. They're actually some pretty positive thoughts, although no Jake Muzzin is a big key to this. Anyways, I will do a video over the next couple days while we're going through Snowmageddon. And again, I'll have a little wrap up of the darts and get into round 3 starting on December 27th. Hope everyone has a very, if I don't do a darts video afterwards, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. If you're Canadian, be safe, or you're in Ontario, be safe. I'm just hearing the ice pellets hit the window as we speak. Hopefully everything goes well. Cheers.